A sea turtle swims through the ocean, notices a plastic bag, thinks it's food and eats it, and then chokes on it. Not far away, a small fish gets trapped inside a plastic bag with the words, "Thank you, have a nice day," printed on it. For these animals entangled in plastic bags, this might be their last day. As most stores across the globe continue to bag their customers' purchases in plastic bags, pollution continues to harm our environment, especially our oceans and the creatures that thrive in them. According to the World Counts, plastic bags are a leading cause for marine pollution. With your help, we can change this statistic from severe to non existent. Many times while riding down the highway, I have seen all kinds of trash littered everywhere, but the one most common is plastic bags. Another time, on a trip to the island of Nevis in the Caribbean, we came across a beach so submerged in trash that we could barely see the sand. The infestation of plastic bags across the globe has become a severe problem. After listening about this dire situation and how you can help, I hope you will decide to join me in choosing to use paper grocery bags instead of plastic ones. The World Counts also states, "We have become used to plastic bags to carry our stuff around. They're cheap and handy and readily available, but is it really worth the negative impact to our environment?" Keeping this quote in mind, let's examine some of the problems with plastic bags. The main problem is that plastic doesn't biodegrade. What this means is that it cannot be decomposed by bacteria and other living organisms. However, plastic will photodegrade, meaning that it gets broken down into tiny pieces called microplastics by UV light from the sun. The other problem with this is that photodegradation of plastic bags usually takes an average of 1,000 years. And when you compare that to the average 12 minutes that it is actually used, do you still think that using them is worth it? The Plastic Pollution Coalition points out that the plastic is always there. It never disappears, it just continues to break down into smaller and smaller pieces. As a result, plastic-sized particles outnumber plankton in the ocean 6 to 1. To illustrate the magnitude of this problem, I'll give you a small-scale example. For every drop of ocean water, there are over 250,000 plankton. According to our 6 to 1 ratio, this means that in a single drop of water, there are over 1,500,000 pieces of microplastic. All this plastic, animals are very likely to mistake it for food and eat it. Sadly, this is usually fatal. At this point, you might be wondering, where's all that plastic come from? Isn't it supposed to be recycled? Well, that's the other problem with plastic. It's supposed to be recycled. But recycling doesn't stop when you throw your plastic in a bin. A group of journalists from The Guardian decided to dig deeper and found that after the plastic is collected, it is eventually shipped off to countries like Vietnam, Ghana, and Turkey, where workers are paid little to try to recycle it. Many parts of these countries and their oceans are covered in mountains and seas of plastic. With the world using an estimated 500 billion to 1 trillion plastic bags a year, it is impossible for the workers to keep up. The World Counts mentions the consequence of this, saying that only 1 to 3% of all plastic is actually recycled. With this being the case, plastic, especially plastic bags, are taking over our lands and our oceans. The most obvious solution for this problem is to stop using plastic bags altogether. Hold on, you might say. What are we supposed to use instead? Well, that answer lies in the invaluable resource of trees. And by trees, I mean paper. If everyone chose to use paper grocery bags instead of plastic ones, the world would benefit in so many ways. To start, paper bags are 100% biodegradable. They are easily decomposed very quickly by bacteria in the soil. Paper bags are also 100% recyclable because they don't contain the toxic and poisonous gas that plastic bags emit during recycling. They can also withstand more pressure and weight than plastic bags, making them easy to carry more things. I'm sure at this point most of you are thinking, but I've always been told to use less paper. If we completely transition to paper bags, won't that harm our forests? Actually, it won't. It will benefit our forests. To explain this, let me start at the beginning. Have you ever wondered where paper mills get all that timber to make their product? Well, paper mills get their wood from their backyard and their front yard, and really all around the mill. You see, paper mills grow their trees around their facility in the shape of the circle. They harvest a certain section at a time and always replant that section afterwards. This way, paper mills are constantly planting new trees and tending to their thousands of acres of forest. In fact, according to Rayonier, paper companies can plant over 2.5 billion trees per year. So when people start going paperless, it causes these companies to lose money. If paper companies go out of business, so do the sustainable forests they cultivate. When a paper company moves out, a big corporation will move in and clear the forest of all trees for their construction. By using only paper bags, we are ensuring that paper companies stay in business and ensuring the safety of millions of acres of forest. Overall, there are many benefits of using paper bags instead of plastic ones. Number one, by using paper bags, we will give the world more time and a better chance at cleaning up existing plastic from our oceans and our cities. Number two, if plastic bags are not made or used, they will not be able to harm our oceans and the creatures found in them. This leads to less animal fatalities and a healthier and safer environment overall. Number three, with paper companies in business, there will be more forests. And number four, lastly, paper bags are still reusable. They can be used as a protective sheet for painting and more, as a trash bag, or even as wrapping paper. You name it. Now, imagine being one of those workers living amid piles of plastic. Every day you look out your window and see plastic bags floating in the water. When you walk down the town, you casually dodge mountains of trash. Now, imagine that those piles don't exist. You wake up and see the sun shining across a clean, crisp, and blue sea. You can happily walk down the street now, and only the things you have to dodge are the carts that are selling fresh produce. Now let's go back to our story from the beginning. Imagine that a turtle or that fish stuck in a plastic bag. Imagine the panic at becoming hopelessly entangled in something that was carelessly tossed out into nature. Now, imagine if those bags were never there. Both animals could swim freely wherever they pleased with nothing to worry about except their next meal. You have now created a healthier, safer, and cleaner environment for all, and you helped make it happen. In summary, plastic pollution is a very real problem that needs to be solved right away. One of the main causes for this is plastic bags. They are almost never recycled and continue to harm our environment for centuries after being used. Transitioning to paper bags will save the lives of millions of marine creatures and millions of trees. This may seem like an easy task, but it isn't. The only way to rid the environment of plastic bags is if everyone is willing to be a part of it. We can't make this change without you. Today, I urge you to step up too. I urge you to encourage your friends and family, your neighbors and co-workers to step up as well. Join me in choosing to use paper instead of plastic bags. And here are some other steps if you want to do more. You can check out Beyond the Bags website about how retailers like Walmart and Target are making a change and working together to eliminate plastic bags from stores. They are trying to reinvent the retail bag. And second, you can check out 4Ocean's website. Their crews have cleaned up around 20 million pounds of trash from the ocean so far, and they're still going. All of their products are made from plastic they pulled out of the ocean, and all the proceeds go to this amazing cause. If we all work together, we can save the seas to save the tree.